Oh, all right. I'll explain to you the bit of the breaking news or the analogy of UAE. Okay. Now, mind you, this is just my analysis. This is not mentioned in any papers, but this is with a discussion from people who I deeply trust and whose opinions, values, and information I know for a fact can be trusted. Okay, I'll give you the analogy. You remember before, if you'd purchase an iPhone, you'd get a cable. Okay, but when you try connecting the cable, after a couple of tries and all that, that cable would break. Okay, the cable was not good. All right. However, if you purchased a competitor's cable, the same cable for Apple iPhone, it would be much more durable, it would be much more stronger. So the question is, why didn't Apple manufacture the right quality cables? Okay, is it because Apple couldn't find the supplier, or the most likable fact was Apple wanted its wires to break so that you would keep buying new ones and they would make a lot of profit through that? Okay, then the second question. Every year Apple changes its smartphone but comes out with a small new upgrade, but they make it sound like, wow, this is the best iPhone ever, this is the most amazing iPhone ever. They would just make a small upgrade to the camera, they would make a small upgrade to the software, they would make a small upgrade to the features. But on the other hand, if you check Chinese phones or Samsung, they would have all these features and more. In fact, Apple came out with the water resistant much later. Apple came out with the software updates, the drag and drop feature, the slide, having multiple apps. Chinese phones and Samsung, they came out much more earlier. Okay, a larger phone, a larger battery, all this Samsung came much more earlier, but Apple didn't come out. And everyone suspected that Apple was doing this so that every year it could sell its phone and make more money, but nobody could prove it. But you and I know today that is true. In fact, if you check even the Apple cables, now, they know for a fact that people have multiple options and they made sure that the cables are rigid. Let's look at the multiple connectors. Okay, this was a scandal. Like you have only one USB-C port or one port, and you need a dongle. They call it a dongle gate. You need a dongle, and with the dongle you need another connector, and with that connector you need another connector. And this was a mess. While on the other hand, if you check other brands, they would have multiple connectors. Once again, everyone suspected that Apple wanted to sell dongles and wires, but nobody could prove it. Eventually, as Apple's sales started to go down, they give you all those, they give you all those ports. Now, at every step of the way, Apple has been, suspected of doing something that is fishy. Now, for example, I'll give you the software. Everyone claimed that the software was once you updated it, the phone would slow down. And they call this planned obsolescence, whereby, Apple is purposely trying to make its products go slow, so you'll be forced to buy a new one. Now, everyone suspected it, but nobody had evidence about it. Eventually, Apple one day came out with the truth. That was the only time Apple came out with the truth. Okay, now, let's check now. Right now, there's a pandemic. Apple knows that people will not be spending, money for ridiculously priced products. Like its monitor. It came out with this monitor. Just the stand itself is $999. Nobody was saying, yay. It was a bloody rip-off. How can you sell a monitor without a stand? Okay. Today, we all know for a fact that, Apple is playing around and taking advantage of its fans, its followers. And people are not stupid. People are switching over from Apple products to other products. In fact, I myself lost faith in Apple products. I stopped upgrading the iPhones. I was looking at alternatives. Seriously, for a die-hard Apple fan, I was looking for alternatives. And today I have alternatives, okay? Like, I'm using the GoPro instead of the iPhone because the camera I know is not up to the mark, even though it's a slight inconvenience that maybe I cannot, upload on Instagram or something, a piece of the video, but that's okay. It gives me much better ROI. The phone, okay, is used as a productivity tool, but I have an Android device. From an iMac, I also have a Windows PC. So I'm keeping my options open. And cables, I don't just buy Apple cables. I'm constantly experimenting. Okay, let's see another product, So Apple has finally realized people are not dumb. Now, what has that got to do with UAE? Okay. See, now there are a lot of things that happen that people know for a fact, okay, there's something fishy, or they know that they're telling lies, but they can't prove it. But eventually they realize what they're saying is true. Their doubts were true. I'll give you a small example. You remember the Salik Gate? For those who have been in UAE for many years would know that there was no road toll. There was no Salik, okay? So Dubai came out with Salik, and the theme was, we want to reduce traffic. We want to reduce the number of vehicles. And Salik is, or the road toll, will force people to look at alternatives. Okay? So they bought in the road toll, and everyone was like, hey man, maybe they are just doing it to make money. But nobody could prove it. So they had only one. They had one on Garud Bridge, the first one. The first day after it came, there was hardly any cars because people had to get the Salik tag, the road toll tag. After one came, they come out with the news, oh, it's a grand success. It's a big success. Traffic was the same. Only initially, maybe the first month or second month, maybe people were getting the Salik or they were trying alternate routes. But the traffic eventually came down to the same. Then they said, oh, this Salik was a success. We'll have another road toll. And they had one near Mall of the Emirates. And there once again they said, oh, it is a grand success. After this, what they decided is they would build one more, and people started to get worried. Oh shit, man, how much money is going? So then they said, no, don't worry. Listen, man, don't worry. We will only, there's a ceiling until which you'll be charged. Like, for example, you go 4 times, it'll cost you 16 dirhams. We are not going to increase after that. So you can trust us. So people are like, okay, man, it's only 16 bucks. Okay, 16 bucks is still expensive, but after I go the 4th time, I don't have to pay again. So they were very happy with that. However, after that, more Salik gates started to pop up. People were worried, like, why so many Salik gates are coming up? For what? Why you bringing so many? But they were saying, no, listen, don't worry. We are only going to charge you 16. Why are you worried, man? So people kept quiet. Then, and they would say that in the evening, night, there would be no road toll. In the night, you can go as many times as you like. There's no charges. Only you will pay 4 times during the day, during the peak hours. So we just want to reduce traffic. So people were like, okay, I don't believe you, but fine if you say so. Fast forward today. Today, what is the rule? Today, there are multiple Saliks, road toll posts in multiple places. It is not a ceiling of 16 dirhams. You pay as you go. You travel 10 times, you'll pay 40 bucks. You travel 20 times, you'll pay 80 bucks. Okay. On top of that, the traffic is still the same. The traffic has not changed. The only reason why the traffic reduced is because the people in the country are less. Because they had to leave. It became too expensive for them. If you take alternate routes, it becomes much more expensive because you're burning much more fuel. There's wear and tear on the car. And on top of that, they said, we want you to use alternate modes of transport. What are the alternate modes of transport? Only metro. And the metro, the rail, always goes in a straight line. You can't go left, you can't go right. How do you, if you get down, let's say in Sheikh Zayed Road, you want to go inside Al Quoz, what do? Okay, you'll say bus. How long can you wait for bus? 45 minutes for one bus? And then you wait, get down, and then you wait for another 45 minutes. So in a given day, what, you'll go only 2 times? You'll go for 2 meetings? Is that how you achieve your targets? And then on top of that, the bloody heat. 45 degrees, 40, 50 degrees. Try walking with your suit in the sun. You'll sweat in seconds, man. And you can't go sweaty to an office. It's not practical going in that heat. You can't go with your family. It's not a developed means of transport. So everyone knew this was bullshit. But nobody could say anything about it. There was no evidence. But eventually, it was proved. You know, the doubts were proved true. Like this, you can have a look at so many other things. From the bullshit about Expo 2020. It's going to bring 25 million visitors. It's going to bring revenues of billions of dollars. It's going to make people's business lives better. What happened? What happened about the billions? What happened to the 25 million visitors? Okay, you'll say the pandemic, fine. Let's look at the islands, the world islands. Oh, they're going to get 1 point some million new houses on top of the waterfront. We are going to have a new hub. We're going to have businesses. What happened to the world islands? Nothing. They took the money, they dumped sand in the water. Nothing, it's dead. What happened about Maktoum Airport? You'll have 80 million passengers. 80 million. Okay. Maktoum Airport is still there. How many million are coming there? So you remember when Emirates was scooping up aircrafts? Oh, Emirates signed $1 billion deal, 2 billion, 7 billion, 14 billion. What did I say that time? This is what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when Emirates was scooping up aircrafts. I said, why isn't any other airline doing this? Only UAE is doing this. Why isn't any airline doing this? From where will they generate the money? They say, no, the banks they're taking the finance on the banks. They don't have to worry. Nothing will happen. Emirates is robust. When I came out with the prediction that, 60,000 Emirates airline staff, direct or indirect, contractors, workers, freelancers, all of them will lose their jobs. People are laughing. I got attacked. So what happened? Logistics city, outsource city, creative city. You remember Bawardi project? Bawardi project was supposed to be, a 10 kilometer straight road, 10 kilometer. You'd have more than 100 hotels. 100 hotels. You remember the mile-high tower? 1 mile high Nakil Tower. What happened to that? So you remember they announced, okay, the fingerprint of Sheikh Mohammed, that tower will be built. Okay, they made a big noise about it. What happened? You remember the Expo 2020 tower, 1 kilometer long. Saudi, everywhere. See this. Let's understand this. Whether it's Shah Rukh Khan announcing the Shah Rukh Khan Boulevard in Ras Al Khaimah, where they took millions and the project just shut down. Whether they said 99-year visa, we'll give you a 99-year visa. Nothing happened there. I'm talking of 10 years, 15 years ago, when they announced 99-year visa if you buy property. Everyone knows that this is all bullshit. The media doesn't talk about it, and they can't. But people talk. So on this premise, I'm giving you certain predictions for the future for UAE based on what people are talking. And nobody's saying this openly, but people know this. And this is from the higher ups. I'm giving from the higher ups. Okay? Like I say, you do your due diligence. This is not mentioned in the news. This is my opinion. Okay, like I predicted, Expo 2020 would be a failure. Like I predicted, the terminations, like I predicted, the increase in charges and all that. So let me give you a couple of future events that will happen. Number one, I told you in my previous video, Abu Dhabi and Dubai are broken. Okay, broken as in the relationship. They will be their own emirates, separate, but they'll occupy with different laws. Like the same crime that you commit in Dubai versus the same crime you commit in Abu Dhabi. Two different justice systems. The fines will be different. The housing rules will be different. The terms and conditions will be different. The benefits will be different. Now you might say that, isn't that the same with Sharjah? Before, there was a kind of agreement between Dubai and Abu Dhabi to work together to make things happen. Because, you know, just do a little bit of search. Who helped Dubai when Dubai was almost bankrupt? Abu Dhabi. Why do you think Burj Dubai was Burj Khalifa? Why? That also only on the day of the inauguration. And then who helped Dubai with the 21 billion loan? Okay. So now Abu Dhabi and Dubai will operate as entirely two different entities. And on top of that, they will make life difficult for each other. Abu Dhabi locals will be offered better, talented people will be offered better lucrative deals to work in Abu Dhabi itself. Dubai locals, they have to be loyal to Dubai. So you'll see this tension between them. Nobody is talking about it, but it's there. And it will impact people. I'll tell you that. It will impact. Okay? So people will find it more beneficial to be in Abu Dhabi itself. Now the next one. Abu Dhabi will be closely watching Dubai. And this time they will wait for it to collapse. And when they collapse, they are not going to help by giving a loan. When it collapses, there are only two things that might happen. One, see, I'm just giving a possibility. One is they'll help accelerate this process. Okay? Or the second one is they will not offer. They'll wait for the request, please help us. And they'll say, okay, fine, we'll help you. Sell your assets. We'll buy it for cash. And then we own these assets, which has already happened with the, I think, couple of Nakheel properties and Emaar properties. Okay? So that's the second one. Then next prediction. Now, people have been talking about value-added tax being a boon for the economy. Yes, it is helping UAE. Okay? It is helping UAE. It is good for the country. However, it is bad for people who came to UAE thinking it's a tax-free environment. There is SALIC, which is road tax. There is VAT, which is value-added tax. Now they are mulling about income tax. I've told you this before. However, they will not come out directly with the income tax. They will call it business tax or living tax or luxury tax or standard of living or health tax or some other thing. So they'll tax you in each and every other thing other than income tax. So it's not you paying income directly. Let's say, for example, you're going on the road, there's a road tax. You're going to the hospital, there's a hospital tax. You're shopping, there is a shopping tax. Your children going to school, there's a school tax. So if you actually look at it, you're not paying an income tax, but part of your income is going to pay all these other taxes. So isn't that income tax? So that is what is going to happen. They're going to charge you for each and every small thing, and you'll end up paying small expenses for so many other things. So that will make the expenses go higher. Now, obviously, I'll give you a solution also. It's not that I'll not give you a solution. See, the solution is, it's not going to be that, oh, okay, shit, yeah, it's going to be expensive. So what do I do? Now, one is you can migrate to the West. But let's look at it. You migrate to the West. You're an immigrant in a West. You're an Asian or you're a foreigner in a Western country. They might say, oh, we treat you equally. Oh, welcome to New Zealand. Oh, welcome to Canada. But you seriously think people don't have that preference or People are so good that there's no racism in their hearts, there's no preference, there's no sexism. You think the world is all sunshine and rainbows? Okay, you go to Canada, jobs are waiting for you. They have to employ their own citizens first, man. The first priority is their own citizens. You go as an immigrant there, what are you going to do? You're going to take a managerial role? No, you have to start from zero. Because all your experience is of another country. All your style of working is another place. So you have to start right from the bottom. So if you're ready to take up the minimum wage is like flipping burgers, or being a security guard, or being a forklift driver. So if that is okay with you, fine. But if you are earning, let's say, $10,000 or $20,000 in Dubai, or let's say $5,000, don't expect you're going to get $5,000. No, you'll get minimum wage. Then second one, if you go to the West, you have to pay taxes. It's not going to be, hey, come, enjoy life. No. Do you know, I know so many people who are in the West. After the initial excitement of, oh, I'm going to get a, Gora passport, I'm going to wear a white passport. These people work 2 or 3 jobs. Literally work 2 or 3 jobs. They go to one job, they work. Then they sit in the train, or they go to sleep there. They go to the second place, they work there. And you know, people abroad, they literally look at you working. They pay you per hour. So it's not like Dubai, you sit there with a phone, you sit there chatting on social media, you sit there talking, wasting time. No, get your ass, do something. Like even if you're an office person and you're sitting there doing nothing. This is what my friend, this is what happened to him. He was sitting there. He's supposed to be, you know, answering phone calls. And then the manager came and saw this guy is doing nothing. He was doing nothing. He was just sitting and typing. He said, what are you doing? He's saying, nothing, I'm sitting down. He's saying, why aren't you working? He's saying, there's no work. Good, I'm paying you per hour. Go clean, go do something. And he gave him some other work. They don't give you free money, man. It's not like Dubai. And third one is, every fucking thing is expensive. Housing is fucking expensive. Eating out is expensive. Going for a fucking movie is expensive. Everything is bloody expensive. It's not a cakewalk like you think it is. Hospitals are expensive. Travel is expensive. So for those of you who plan to go to the West, don't think a fucking honeymoon is waiting for you. And people ask me, Valoy, why didn't you go to the West? I go to the West and I do what? I'll do some, with this face, with this personality, I'll have to work under someone, security guard or domestic engineer, which is a cleaner, or work in a theater, or work in a retail shop standing there. My brand, online brand, I'll not be able to put any content, videos, nothing. It will die out. And eventually, what? I'll be relegated to being a blue-collar worker, which is not bad, but it's not what I want to do. It's not my passion. It's not my dream. And if I want to be a coach, or if I want to, I'll have to take a proper certification. There is a process there. Why do you think I left here? See, there are pros and cons. Stop thinking that it's a bloody honeymoon phase. Then, obviously, people say, oh, Loy, yeah, I'll come to Thailand. I'll come to Philippines. I'll go to Vietnam. I'll go to Cambodia. Okay, you'll go to these third world countries and do what? And do what? You think people are not unemployed here? You think people are not coming from poorer countries to work here? You think without knowing the local language, without knowing the local customs, without knowing the people here, you're going to get preferential treatment because you're some nationality? You think there is no racism in third world countries? You know, here's some simple things for you to think about. If you're a foreigner in a third world country, they assume that you have a lot of money. So where a local person would pay, let's say, for example, $1 for an injection, you'll be paying $30 or $50 or even $100 for the same injection. Education. Either you can put your children in the poorest of the poor or the richest of the rich. There's no in between, you know. So, and then jobs. You seriously think they're going to pay you in dirhams or dollars? No, man, they're going to pay in the local currency. You live like a local person. Now people say, oh, Loy, oh, okay, Thailand, okay, I'll come to Thailand. You'll come to Thailand and do what? Open up what? Massage parlor, restaurant, travel agency, hotel. What? What are you going to do that nobody else has done? Indian restaurant, Pakistani restaurant, you think nobody else has tried and failed? Or shop, export, import? What are you going to do that is going to reinvent the wheel? Then the only other option, people say, okay, Loy, I'll go back to my country. Okay, go back. You left your country and came there. You'll go back and do what? You think they are standing there with open arms? Come back, yeah, come back. You know what they will tell you? The people in your own country? Fucking refugee. That's what they'll tell you. You are a bloody refugee. You betrayed your country and you went abroad. You failed after betraying your own motherland. Come back like a dog. So start from zero. And there once again you'll go on the grind. The reason you left the first place is because you were a failure. Oh, there you couldn't succeed. You wanted a better life, easy life. So, what is the solution? The solution is stop fucking running away. Stop fucking running away expecting miracles or an easy life. Work hard, fight it out where you are. Okay, fight it out where you are. And how do you fight it out? Simple. Now, I'll give you a simple thing. I had an iPhone. First, I had an iPhone 6. Okay, I upgraded 6S. I used that for quite some time until people said, hey man, your content is shit. Your videos quality is shit, audio shit. Fine, then I purchased a Rode microphone. Then I purchased an iMac. Okay, after some time people said, hey, once again, hey, the audio quality is shit, video quality is shit. Okay, then I invested in a software. I paid good money for that. Then after some time, once again people said it's shit. Okay, then I invested in a proper iMac. Okay, I invested in a proper Rode USB microphone. Then after some time people are like, oh shit, you know, the views are bad and, you know, there's nobody knowing you. Okay, I am appointed a professional, what do you call that, social media freelancer. He has a company. No, first I appointed a freelancer. Then when results were stagnating, people are complaining again, appointed a company. Then when that improved, people once again, oh, your website takes time to load or there are issues with the website. Okay, then I searched and appointed a guy who runs a company to run my website. People complained again. And then I purchased the iPhone XS Max. Okay, after some time people are complaining again that it's not good enough. I invested once again in a GoPro, which you saw now. Invested in a Sony ZV. I invested in professional sound system. Portable microphones. So every year I'm spending money, investing, upgrading. You'll say, oh, you're earning money. Yes, but I'm investing in myself, in my skills, in my talent. I'm learning new softwares. I'm investing in new softwares. I'm going to coaches. I'm paying them per hour. Am I going to learn something new? I'm paying freelancers. My new video production, which is coming for the intros. You used to see the baby diaper video. People are complaining, well, I've invested with a production house to come out with professional trailer videos. So every year I'm spending on me, myself, my brand, while working 12, 14, 16 hours for my brand. Yes, I'm making money, but I'm investing in myself. That's what you need to do. You're good at your job, but are you good at selling and marketing yourself? You're not good at selling and marketing yourself. No, you're not going to work. And it's not just fucking, oh yeah, let me pay for a CV, a paper and finish problem solved. No, your communication skills, your networking skills, your ability to handle office politics, your content driven skills, your writing skills. You know, there are so many. You got your fucking master's degree maybe 20 years ago, which is fucking outdated. They come out with software updates every fucking week. They come out with software updates every week. They come out with new phone models every year. And you're talking of something bloody outdated, a degree outdated, like donkey's years. Man, look at the technological advancement. There were no bloody iPads, iPhones, iPods. You know, when our generation got our first computer, maybe we were at 20 years old. Some people got it at 30. Today, a 9-year-old has an iPod, iPad, has, in our days, we used to mention Word, Excel, PowerPoint was a big thing. Oh, wow, he knows Word, Excel, PowerPoint. We used to literally put, I know Windows 98. Today, if you put that, you're a bloody joke. Once upon a time, people used to mention, I know C++, I know Microsoft, I know Photoshop, I know Illustrator, I know Corel Draw. Today, if you mention, you're a fucking joker, man. People used to say, I know SEO, I know social media marketing. Today, everyone knows that. Every Tom, Dick and Harry, they made it so easy. The landscape has changed so much. So what the fuck are you investing in yourself? Don't fucking come to me. I'm not saying this is an ad, come to me. No. What are you investing in yourself? Buying new shoes? Buying new suit? Buying a new car? It's like having a car. You upgraded the... Have you seen some people, especially like Filipinos, they will have a Toyota Echo, but they'll make it look like a fucking Ferrari. They'll have, alloy wheels, and they'll have an amazing sound system. They'll have, windbreakers. They'll have... it'll make it look like a Ferrari. But it's a bloody Toyota Echo, man. It's not a Ferrari. You can put all the accessories at the top, but the engine remains the core. So if your body, if your engine, if your mind is the same, but you're investing in a suit, you're investing in shoes, you're investing in a car, what? There are so many other things. See, I keep harping about resume because that's a first point of contact. But after that comes the skills, right? But the foundation is the resume. The next one is the interview. The third one is the work process. During the work process, it is how you handle office politics. It's how you network. Every single day I get up. Every single day. The question comes to my mind, okay, how am I going to earn money today? How am I going to get my new customer? What should I improve in my process? What should I learn today? What should I read today? That's how the mind should fucking work, man. Otherwise, you're not going to fucking succeed, boss. And then, you come with your sob story. Oh, Loy. Office politics. Oh, Loy. Racism. Oh, Loy. 20 years I worked. I took a loan. Loy, I lost my job. I don't have money. Help, Loy, help. I enjoyed a good life, Loy. I was going for holidays, Loy. I bought a nice expensive car. I was having babes and clubs, and I enjoyed my life, Loy, but now I'm suffering. So now you help me, Loy. On your expense, Loy. Save me, Loy. Who the fuck cares, man? Who the fuck cares? I tell people, on your good days, you didn't pay me. Bad days, fuck yourself. Don't give me a sob story. I give a fuck. So next one. The value added tax, I told you, tax is going to come. The next one, what is going to happen to UAE is they're going to change the laws. The laws are going to be changed based on their convenience. And how is the laws going to be changed? I'll tell you. Let's say you're playing a strategy game. A strategy game where you're gathering resources. Okay? You play any of these war games, PC games. What you have to do is, okay, these guys will work in a farm. Some will hunt in the forest. Some will hunt animals, buy and sell. So you make gold and you make food, and then you can sell and you can charge taxes. Okay, so that's how you improve on the game. So the game's artificial intelligence gives you challenges, like it changes the weather, it says sickness for the crops, it says, okay, the opposing country has increased the taxes, or the exchange rate has gone up. So then you have to play around with your economy and, okay, guys, I'm going to increase the taxes for you. From 1%, I'll increase to 5%. So when you increase the tax, the money increases, but people are unhappy. And, these games, artificial intelligence is when people are unhappy, they leave. When people leave your country or your camp, when people leave, there are empty houses, there's no business, and hence there's no revenue. But when you lower the taxes, more people come in. Your place is popular, and more people means more productivity. So there's a balance that you have to constantly maintain. And that's how people play the game. They increase the taxes, then they bring it down. They increase the taxes, they bring it down. Now, most of the countries can't do that. They can't keep saying, this year you'll pay 45% tax, next year 20% tax. Don't give me a scare, man, dog. So they can't keep bringing, okay, today 45% tax, next month 37, third month 20, this time free. No, they can't keep doing that. So officially they can't do that, but they can play with the rules. So how do they play with the rules and laws? By making it unofficial. Like for example, okay, you'll have to pay, you remember they tried this, you will pay business expense registration charges, overheads, electricity, water. And then when business was down, okay, you don't have to pay business registration charges, you don't have to pay 101 services, electricity will reduce it, water will reduce it. So they are constantly playing around with all this. So now obviously there are limits to how much they can play with expats. So this is where they'll play with investors and business people. Okay, how they'll do that? Now the first way they are going to do that is through media. Remember this much, most of the people, they make a decision based on media. Media is the news. So obviously people will read Gulf News, Khaleej Times, a national paper. They will read, okay, how is the market? Oh, they gave the report, oh, market is good. Oh, they're coming out with a new law to attract investors. Oh, they are reducing the taxes. Oh, you can open easily. Oh, you'll get tax-free rebates. Oh, you'll get buy one, get one property free. So they read all this. Then news will come. Oh, people are coming in for holiday. Oh, Nas Daily, he's enjoying. He's showing Dubai is so free. There is no sickness. Oh, COVID cases have come down. Oh, healthcare is free. So a person with lots of money will be like, this is a nice place, yeah. This is a nice place. I have to pay 40% tax in UK, US. Here I have to pay no tax. Fuck. 40% of $1 million. Fuck, it's 400,000. Fuck, it comes straight straight into my pocket. This is heaven. I am coming to Dubai. That's it. So they come to Dubai. They see, wow, so peaceful, so nice, such law-abiding security. Okay, what are the properties? Hey man, you don't need to pay 1 million full down payment cash of this property. Pay 10% and buy 10 properties. Oh fuck, that's a good idea, man. Fuck, okay. So I'll pay 100,000 for this 1 million property down payment, and I'll buy 10 properties. So now I'm the owner of 10 properties. Fuck, my portfolio has jumped 10 million. Before it was only 1 million. Now I have 10 properties, 10 million, where I've only paid a 10% down payment. I can give it on rent. I can enjoy life 10 times more, which is not there in the UK and US. And there is no tax. Then once you do that, finished. It's like, you walk to someone, you tell them, take my balls, hold it in a claw, okay? And the person says, don't worry, man, I'll not squeeze your balls. I'll not squeeze your balls. This metal claw on your balls will never be squeezed. Just have to put it there, temporary, just temporary. I'll just lock it, and anytime you want, open it. You'll be like, fuck, okay, take my balls. Here, take my balls. Put the lock and key there. And remember, give me the key when I want. Yeah, okay. Once you agree, they'll put the lock. And now you're standing there. One fine day, they tell you, no, now you have to pay 15% service charge, 20% security charge, 12% government charge. This is a special fee from the sheikh. This is the happiness charge. And you'll be like, huh? What? What is all this? Then he'll be like, hey, listen, man, you never said that all this. No, Yahi, this is our country. If you don't like, you leave, Baba. You leave and go. Then you'll be like, fuck. Man, this is bad, yeah? And then you begin to realize, oh, you have 10 properties. You have to pay the government for 10 properties. Luxury tax. You're an investor. Investor tax. You have to pay special charges. And then you'll be like, shit, man. I don't like all these new rules. I don't like these new laws. Shit, this is too much of a headache. Okay, I'll go back to my country. I'll go back, So even though I have to pay 40 or 45% tax, okay, I'll just pay them there and have peace of mind. So now you tell the guy, okay, hey, yeah man, take all these 10 properties, take it, I'm going back. Okay, take it. He'll be like, what, take it? So what do you mean take it? Take it, like I paid you 10%, give me my 10% back, I'll give you the difference. No, yahi, no, this is not how, this is not, you, what you think, we camel? No, yahi, no. You pay 10%, you clear 90%, you pay full, you pay all the 10 property, 10 million, okay? Yeah, you already paid 1 million, you pay 9 million, you pay for all, and then you can take your money back, no problem. Plus, because you're closing down the business, you have to pay closing charges. Plus, because you want to shut down operations, you have to pay legal charges. Plus, we will check with the bank how much money you have to pay. Plus, ittisalat, municipality, plus lawyer fee. All this you have to pay. And then if you say no, they will squeeze your balls even more. It starts to pain. Then you say, oh, you start to panic. Oh, fuck, okay, stop. Okay, I want to go, I want to leave. What, go? Baba, we have your ball in the claw. We are not going to let you go. And if you make too much noise, we will squeeze your ball and we will not kill you. We will make you suffer and die. Then you're like, oh, it starts to pain and you start to ache and you start to cry. Finally, they tell you, Yaki, listen, Allah Khali, we are good people, okay? We don't want all this drama, okay? What you do, you leave everything, you go back to your country. We will not make any charges, we will not make. And then you're like, hey, fuck off, man. What the fuck? You gave me these laws and all that, and now you want me to leave everything and go? I'm going to take you to court. Oh, you say, fuck you too. I'm local. I am local. They will shout, local. And then they take you to court. And then you also go to court expecting a fair judiciary system. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. It goes on. So, like this big noise, it goes on and on and on and on. Until one day, you have lost all your money with the legal process. Your passport has been taken. You can't get out of the country. You can't start a new job. You can't do anything. You say, okay, I give up. Take all the money. Let me go. Just please let me go. I don't want to come back. And then you leave. So now what happened? The whole story. You lost your 1 million because you thought you could save 400,000. And along with the 1 million, you lost your peace of mind. You lost additional money. So this is not going to be a story for everyone, okay? Mind you, it's not going to be for everyone, but for majority of the people, this is going to be the story where eventually you will lose everything. Case in point, B.R. Shetty. Have you noticed, by the way, where is B.R. Shetty? No news. Where is Yusuf Ali? No news. Where is Azad Moopan? No news. Where is the Choitrams? Where is the Walranis? Where is the, what is his name? Rizwan? Where are they? Shh. Before, my country, I will bleed for the country. I will die every breath for my country. I will die. This is my motherland, my fatherland. He is like my father. Now, no noise. You remember how they were showing the 1990 I got the visa. Hey, this is the greatest day of my life. Oh, 99-year visa, 100-year, 1,000-year, 10,000 year visa. I am so proud. Now every Tom, Dick and Harry has it. And what is the visa? You pay 1 million, you get the visa. Better than that, renew every year, no? Why to put your balls again in their hands? Last, if not the least, the last prediction that I'll give you. See, you know, many people send me a message. They say, hey, fuck you, UAE will be there forever. Dubai will be there forever. Your sorry ass will not be there. You're absolutely right. UAE will remain forever. Dubai will remain forever. You and I will not remain forever. This is the nature of the game. It's like in boxing. The boxer comes, the boxer goes. Mike Tyson came, Mike Tyson went. George Foreman came, George Foreman went. UFC. Chuck Liddell came, Chuck Liddell went. Movies. Pierce Brosnan was James Bond. Daniel Craig was the James Bond. They come and they went. So the brand will remain. Okay? People will come, people will go. You and I will come and go. Okay, so that part, let's not fool ourselves. It's going to remain. But the question is, how do people like you and me sustain and survive? That is the name of the game. Jeff Bezos will be billionaires. Elon Musk will be a billionaire. All these trillionaires. See, keep in mind, end of the day, the rich will be rich and richer. They'll make shitloads of money. Why? Because they have access to information. The most powerful companies in the world today are Facebook. Why? Information. And we are giving them our information. Where we go, what we eat, how much we eat, how much we spend, what we buy, what we search. Google, same thing. All the social media apps, all of them have access to our data. They will claim, like how I told you before, they will claim, no, man, no, we don't have your data. Are you stupid? Just because you give us all your data, where you stay, what you eat, your wife's name, your child's name, what you buy, we are not keeping your data, man. Just try this. Google search Pampers, diapers, couple of times on Facebook and Google. Just Google search Pampers. See what ads come up. See what video ads come up. See what banner ads come up. When I was Google searching GoPro and Sony, guess which were the recommended videos? GoPro and Sony. Guess what came on Facebook? GoPro accessories, Sony accessories. Guess what came up on Instagram? Guess what came up on every fucking... Even the browsers. Even the fucking browsers where... they were... Imagine my smartphone, which I don't do any search. There also the ads came. How did they know that all of them were connected to the same IP address? The internet. And how the fuck did they know all this? How did Chrome know what I was searching on Safari? How did Microsoft Edge know what I did on my PC? In fact, how does, think about it. I get software advertised for Mac on my iMac. I got software advertised for PC on my PC. Like Boom 3D, which is a sound, for equalizer sound. It comes ads for Mac on my Mac and ads for PC on my PC. Now you'll say, isn't that obvious? Well, forget the obvious. What is not being obvious? Did you ask yourself? I have 3 iPads, okay? And you'll not believe all 3 iPads give me different ads based on my spending. On my main account of my dominations game, I've spent more than $10,000. Oh, the prices for the certain special offers is so fucking high. It's like premium. On the other one, I've spent average. The prices, special offers there are average. And on the account I don't spend any money, they give you throwaway deals. It's like at least spend something. So the point I'm trying to make here is information is the most valuable resource, at least in this generation. UAE, why is it tying up with Israel? Why is it spying on your smartphone? Why is it giving you free toe talk calls, bottom calls? Why only do an Itisalada allowed to operate? They want to tap into your information. You can try VPN, you can try whatever the fuck you want to try. With $1 billion that they have, billions, your $10 VPN is not going to do any magic. Okay? But at the same time, don't need to be paranoid. You don't need to send a message and delete, send a message and delete. Don't try to make it like a James Bond movie. They are not sitting and spying on 9 million residents 24/7. They don't have the resources. Nobody can do that. There is only for specific things, like if you're downloading porn, they're not going to say, who's downloading porn? Oh, he sees anal porn. Fuck, I'm going to, he's destroying him. He saw anal porn. Fuck all that. They are going to see things which are very big, like for example, terrorism. like those days in US, if you type in Osama bin Laden or you type bombing or terrorism, immediately your system would light up to the national security, They would keep a track. Why did he type Osama bin Laden? Why did he? Okay, what is he doing next? They would track. They have a list of pre-qualifiers. Is he doing this? If you're not doing, if you just Google search and you went off, they're not going to fucking bother. But yes, you'd be on the alert list based on your behavior, based on your pattern. So in the same way, UAE is going to keep a tab on your information. Okay, they're going to keep a track. Not just you, everyone, the collective lot. Based on your behavior, they're going to decide whether to charge you more or charge you less. Okay? They come out with all these microchip, or put this microchip in you, or sign in one place, sign in, you can sign in everything. And what they're trying to do is gain permission and access to your systems. That is what scammers do. That is what everyone else. So that doesn't mean you stay paranoid. Don't be paranoid. Some people send me one message, hi Lloyd, delete. Then they create another account, how are you? Delete. Then they create another Gmail account. Don't fucking do that. Just relax the fuck out, man. They are not going to, for chatting with me, they are not going to fucking arrest you. I'm just a piddly small ant. They are more worried about Russia, China, where trillions of dollars are. I'm a fucking ant, small ant. If they wanted me dead, I'd be dead long ago. Okay? So, I'm an insignificant ant. It's like one ant is there, and you have to worry about this whole field. You're not going to worry about that ant. So, I'm not even that ant. So, they have many things to worry about. So, now, what is the solution is, don't be paranoid, but at the same time, understand that they're going to gather the information for data. Based on how the majority behave, they will decide what laws, what changes, everything will. Like people say, Dubai will remain, but it will keep adjusting, but adjusting at your cost, adjusting on your expense. Like I told you, the rich will get richer. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, they have access to information before it comes out. This company, the stock prices are going to crash. This company is going to sell. Okay, this COVID virus is spreading to this part of the world. These are the retail outlets going to... Okay, this is what we need to do before they close down. So they have access to all that information. Okay, the vaccine is coming out. Let's play with the price manipulation. Like, why diabetic medicines? There's no improvement in diabetic medicines, but the cost has gone up. Why do you think healthcare? There's no improvement, but the costs have gone up. See, these pharmaceutical giants know that diabetes, you need diabetes. Heart disease, you need it. But if you are healthy, they don't make money. So that's why they came with the pyramid. Eat more, carbs and this and that, which is totally wrong. You should not eat all that. Kellogg's cornflakes is sugar. So if you are well, they don't make money. If you're sick, they make money. So in the same way, for countries, if you're making money and you're sending money back home, they don't make anything. But if you make money and you put it back in their own country, then it benefits them. So they are going to, first part is they have access to information, which they will never release to you, but they will act. And how I know this is the contacts who speak to me, they tell me what is happening. Like they knew what was going to happen with Expo 2020. They played the game accordingly with the suppliers and contractors. They were well aware of COVID-19. That's why some companies shut down even before COVID-19 started to spread or officially was declared it was spreading. Even with the vaccines, they know what is happening. If you actually notice why certain people are not getting sick or they're perfectly healthy, why some people have AIDS and they're dying in millions, but some people, even if they get AIDS, they are being cured. See, I don't want to go into conspiracy theories of flat earth, and that's all bullshit, okay? There's a certain amount of common sense you have to use. Don't go overboard with that. Like if you tell me, Loy, this person has a body double. Like for example, Donald Trump has a body double. This sheikh has a body double. He looks like him, acts like him, but it's not him. Yeah, that's common sense. Of course it is. If there's a president and he's, let's say, of a big country, and he's controlled like a puppet, but he's dead, They'll not declare him dead for reasons until they correct everything. So there are certain things that you need to understand, that these people have access to information which you and I don't have. And they will act accordingly. That's why they save the billions. Information is power. Facebook will save billions. YouTube will save billions. Google will save billions. Countries will save billions. But it's people like you and me who will suffer. So what my advice to you is, number one, save your cash, don't spend, save it. Money is power. Second one, don't spend on what you don't need. Don't assume a quick get-rich scheme. It's not going to happen. Number three, if something is too good to be true, be it an investment, be it a purchase, be it a job, be it an opportunity, be it a friendship, be it a relationship, a very beautiful girl who you never thought you could get in your life, she says, I love you. Oh, alarm bells. A person, this property is worth 1 million. He's giving it to you for, 100,000. Alarm bells. If let's say, they say, come invest in our country, no taxes. Oh wow, fuck, I'm going to save 500,000. Alarm bells. Oh, you're searching for a job, you never got any fucking job. All of a sudden this guy offers you double the salary, triple the salary. Alarm bells. And that also without you improving anything. So keep in mind, this should trigger your alarm bells, red flags, as I call it. There's no easy way out, okay? There's no quick get-rich scheme. Something is too good to be true, it's generally the case. One last thing that I'll tell you before I wind it up. Invest in yourself. I've told you this before, I'm telling you now. College degrees is a ticket to show I'm educated. But it will not help you. The only thing that will help you is when you can sell and market yourself. Sell and market yourself. It's all about selling and marketing yourself. It's knowing how to sell, what to say, what to write, what to show. That's what Google is doing. That's what Amazon is doing. That's what Elon Musk does. That's what Apple does. That's what a country does. It's knowing how to sell. The science of how to sell. Whether it's your resume, whether it's how you talk, whether it's how you network. And then obviously, yes, you need to back it up with the service. You can't put yourself as God's gift to mankind. You'll sell to 100,000 customers. You're that good a salesman, and then you can't sell even 10. No. Hold yourself accountable to those standards. Okay? So, I told you, number one, if it is too good to be true, it's never the case. Second, hold on to your money. Third one, watch the narrative. Third one was learn to sell yourself. Okay? Fourth one is watch the narrative. What are they putting in the news? What do they want? Ask yourself, what do they want me to believe? What do they want me to do through this information? What would a normal person do? Oh, he reads, okay, there's no more COVID. What do those people do? Oh, this is a special offer. What would they do? So, and then why are they doing it? Why? So when you start analyzing this, your brain works, okay? And then last one is, remember, slow and steady wins the race. Okay? But never be in your comfort zone. Never ever fucking be. If every year you're growing, every year, Sam, don't be in your comfort zone. Same like me. My channel is growing. People are growing. No, I'm not going to be in the fucking comfort zone. I'm not, because I don't know when I'll be dethroned. I don't know when someone will kick me out. I don't know when I'll get into trouble. I don't know. You have to be at your edge. So always surround yourself with, forget a mentor, with great minds who help you think. If you can get a mentor, that's great. But you can't get a mentor, get someone who will be your advisor, someone who will guide you, or a group of people who are a mastermind, like who tell you, see, this is a strategy, this is what you need to do, which is very hard to get. Personally, I've not succeeded. That's why I take specialists like in Google, specialists in YouTube, specialists in technology. I have different people whom we have an agreement between us, some benefit, where they help me and guide me. And in some cases, I even pay money. Without you investing in yourself, don't expect wonders. If you're going to invest in your marriage, for a videographer, for a buffet, for a planner, for a suit, for a hairstylist, you're going to pay professionals for that. Just for a one-day event, you need to spend on your career, your profile, your brand. So yeah, guys, this is what I wanted to share with you. I don't know if this gave you any value, but I speak from my heart to you guys, and that's what I do. So do support the channel, do support my work. If you'd like to donate to my channel, I appreciate. My PayPal account is down. Just donate to loy@loymacedo.com. If you like to comment, go ahead. If you want to like, you can like. You'll not get arrested for liking. Nobody can find out who liked what. Sharing on social media, just be careful. Don't do it publicly, especially if you're in the country, UAE. But yeah, if you want to support, it's there. If you need my professional service, you know how to get in touch with me. So let me know your thoughts. I thought I'd share this with you, and this is my next prediction of what is to come. Give me your thoughts. Let me know. It's me signing off. Take care.